Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Sword, the Crown Tundra expansion. I'm Nye. We are inside a cave. I guess a place between A and B is really what I'm looking at. I'm pretty sure I already have Bagon, but I do want to go double check it. I know for a fact we have Zubat, and Crobat, and Acrobat. Just kind of see what we have here. We do not have a Bagon. Now, that's super interesting to me. Okay. I've always been a tremendous fan of dragon Pokemon. I think part of it was just, like, I was the dragon boy as a kid. That was always my thing. Part of it was just Year of the Dragon to begin with, and my family really liked the Chinese Zodiac due to my sisters being Chinese. But apart from that, I've always liked the idea of dragons in the first place. I've always, dragon pictures, dragon toys, and all of the various things. Like, dragon and me together was a thing. Well, that sucks. So I always loved dragons. The problem was that in the original Pokemon game, and, in Pokemon Red and Blue, dragons basically didn't exist. They were not really a thing. Like, if you actually go look at the original 151, even after all of, like, the secondaries were added and stuff like that, if I remember correctly, the only dragons are literally Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite. So there was not really this option to have dragons in your party back then. But I always loved dragons, so I always enjoyed going after them. And there was this definite, like, risk-reward isn't really the term I'm looking for here, because there wasn't really a risk, necessarily. But there was always this thing about dragons in the game that I have a Frostlass. There's always a thing about dragons in the game, like, they were rare. You never saw them until the end, right? Like, when you saw dragons, you knew the game was coming to a reasonable conclusion by the time they actually showed up. In the original 151, sure, in Red, Blue, and so on. But this also applied to the other games. When you actually saw dragons show up in Gen 3 or later gens, the game was nearing its end. You might get a legendary like Rayquaza. You might see a lot of things, but at the end of the day, when dragons showed up, the game was nearing its end. But they were also super powerful. Outrage, yeah, being a good example. Very, very powerful ability. But dragons were always stupid powerful. Very unique creatures. So I always enjoyed dragons in Pokemon. There was always, not only the rarity, but also exactly how much you had to work to level up a dragon in the game. And more than just leveling up, there was also the evolutionary requirements. I think I forgot the name of it off the top of my head. The launcher, the Ghost Dragon from Sword and Shield is a tremendous example of that. Because if I remember correctly, that thing is a fairly useless Stage 1 evolution until level 60. Bagon, the Rockhead Pokemon. Bagon jumps off cliffs every day, trying to grow stronger so that it will someday be able to fly. It is asking a bit much of a player. Kind of as a general thing, it's a bit much to tell a player, hey, this Pokemon will be extremely powerful eventually, but that's at level 60. Expect to put in. That's an interesting sight. expect to put in a bunch of effort between now and then for basically no result. And then eventually, of course, you get the result there. Just see, 1 second. Okay. I always enjoyed dragons, and I always thought that the Pokemon series has done a fairly excellent job of having dragon representation in the game as a type. You know, dragons as a type are super neat, and we have a wide variety. We have, you know, dragons of every kind of mythology. We got Western dragons. We have Eastern dragons. We have, you know. I mean, you just have to look at Drampa. Drampa's a great example. Drampa is actually, I think, one of the worst dragons available in Pokemon. Both in terms of its general design, but also in terms of its actual usefulness as a poke for someone who actually wants to use it. Like a normal dragon type does not incredibly excite me as a player. And the damn thing looks goofy. I mean, Drampa looks like a super... Just for the view, or... Drampa has a super goofy look to it. Ooh, hey. Okay, I guess we're gonna try to catch that then. It's, you know, it's giving me the opportunity to kind of skip all of these evolutions I would normally have to do. Okay, Emolga goes down. That's fine. Emolga did his job. We can pull out Aegislash. I don't think it's going to go all that well, because Ghost Steel versus... We know that Salamence has Fire Breath, or something similar to it. So it's going to take me down very, very quickly. Let's see how well this goes, though. Yeah, I was never this gigantic fan of Drampa as a poke, because it looks incredibly goofy. You know, it has a very distinctly cartoonish look. And I know that doesn't sound like, you sit here, you're like, well, it's, you know, it's Pokemon. What are you what are you expecting? Like, Pokemon is a very cartoony game. I'm playing Pokemon Sword, which is, it's cell shaded, for crying out loud. You know, you look at Salamence right here, and Salamence definitely has a cartoonish look to it. If you look at it from here. Which is a very legitimate statement, honestly. But there's a distinct difference between the look of Salamence. Salamence at least has... I mean, it's definitely a goofy look. These gigantic blade wings... Hey, crit capture. These gigantic blade wings just kind of floating in the air, you know. But you compare that to Drampa. Drampa just again, distinctly goofy look. That being said, you know, Salamence, the dragon Pokemon. Salamence is an unusual Pokemon in that it was able to evolve a body with wings just by constantly wishing to be able to fly. Huh. You know, you look at Drampa, and it definitely has this kind of weird look to it. But what I appreciated about it as a poke is that, you know, when Pokemon, the new Pokemon Snap came out, Drampa was one of the pokes that you can catch. Or not catch, but, you know, capture on camera. But you can get a picture of a Drampa, and it looks... Yeah, it still looks goofy. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that it looks amazing. Um, but it looks, when you see its size and see it kind of drifting through the air the way that it does, it looks majestic. You know, it definitely has that sense of majesty to it. That slow, kind of casual, you know, drifting through the air. Which I appreciate. I think that actually ends up looking fairly solid. I've always loved dragon Pokemon. Bagon was never one I really ended up using that much. Bagon to Salamence. It's one that I kind of wish I could have used, because if I remember correctly, that is a Gen 3 dragon. But by the time Bagon actually shows up in, you know, Ruby, Sapphire, and so on, you're pretty much done with the game. You're moving on to the Elite Four. Okay. Go get its tier 2. This is not. Never mind. This is not the tier 2. The tier 2 is the weird. It's the weird orb thing. Yeah, I didn't really get a chance. A little bit lost in here. I'm trying to remember which way I have already gone. I think all I have left to go is up. It definitely had this strange look to it. And you just, you know, you get it so late. That's a, right, that's the moth that evolves off of Snom. There is a Snom. There's an awful lot of Druddigons floating around. Druddigon's another one that, like, I kind of appreciate the look to it. It has a little bit more of that hulking style of poke. But it never ended up being on my team. Now, I say that, and, you know, it has to be understood that my teams and pokes were always very distinct. Usually I would kind of do what you guys saw in the, you know, original Let's Play, in that I would kind of get my first 6 Pokemon. And that would be about it. You know, I'd just get my first 6, and they would just come with me. That'd be the end of it. There's the Crown Shrine. Okay. And a giant dead tree. Well, it has the symbolism of the Poke King. Oh, hello. Something is looking at me. Not going to be there when I look, naturally, because that's the meme. Felt that something was watching you until just a moment ago. That's the trope. I think is the not a meme, but a trope. What's the trope is to have the creature or something looking at you, and then you look up and it's gone. But yeah, I never, you know, Druddigon always showed up very late in the games it shows up in. And that was not I never wanted to add it. It wasn't a poke that had a lot of use for me. It doesn't evolve. Its skills were kind of subpar. You know, there was always something better than it floating around. Okay. Notably, I do not have camera control in here, which that's not something like I would have noticed or cared about in a previous Pokemon game. But in this one, like, you have camera control an awful lot, so it looks like they want to force me to look in specific directions in here. Which is usually a good way to kind of tell the player, hey, you got something you need to be, like a battle arena. You need to be looking at. Hello. Sort of basket. Okay. Not really anything in here, though. That looked like a nest of some sort. I wonder if this is for the, this is for the legendary birds. Okay, am I able to actually fly to this location? Yes, I am. Cool. So I guess let's go ahead. There's nothing I can do up there, and I believe I've actually discovered... I believe I've discovered everything in that direction, so I guess let's go ahead and head back down here. And kind of continue our exploration into different areas. Go ahead and head down there, if I can figure out my way down. I think it is a bit of a crying shame when it comes to some of these pokes that they are, you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? They do show up so late in the game, and they do kind of come in at a point where they're not really all that useful. I see that in a lot of the Pokemon games. Like, and it might just be that I'm just one of those that I just get attached to my team. But, you know, very typically when I'm playing kind of casually, like I said, I will have a team that I will run with, and that team is with me until I die. There are some exceptions, but, you know, my original team in Red Blue was my starter, whatever my starter happened to be. You know, my starter, Pidgey, Pikachu. Interesting that you're here. Huh. Ah, there's the launcher. We were talking about you earlier. But, you know, it'd be very much this very specific team that you catch on, you know, the first 6 routes of the game. And that's it. That team would usually be joining me the entirety of the game. Some exception, you know, they're... I think we usually reach the point where, do we have Omanite? No. No, it's not. Please don't kill. But you have this, Oh, well, that's gonna kill. Okay. Good to know. Well, there's Omanite. There's probably Omanite everywhere, so I'm not really worried about it. But I'd have this team that would just be 100%, you know... It'd be a team that I would have forever. You know, this team would always be with me. I would always run this team. And it was, I guess, partially... you know, partially... I'm trying to think of the word here. Partially, sentimental. You know, sentimentality. Same reason why I got my dad's bike repaired as opposed to buying another bike. I was outright told by the bike shop that this bike was old. It was, in terms of buying a new bike that was of a similar quality. A brand new bike would be of similar price to repairing this old bike. That was not including the front fork of my dad's bike. I'd repair a lot of things with this bike. My dad's bike was left out in the rain for many, many years, and then it was in a garage. It moldered, so I'd replaced a lot of things. We had to, you know, replace the tires entirely. I want to say, I can't remember if we had to replace the rims. We had to replace the tires. We had to. The seat had to be replaced. Some work had to be done with the gears. There was just a lot of work that had to be done on this bike. And the front fork, the suspension, is absolutely shot, but it's a titanium fork. And it's all in one piece, really, so you can't really just say, okay, fix the suspension. The entire thing would have to be replaced. So I was outright told by the mechanic who was going to work on it that, look, is Omanite, the spiral Pokemon. Because some Omanite managed to escape after being restored or released into the wild by people, this species is becoming a problem. Interesting. But I was told, look, it's not really cost effective for you to repair this bike. Okay, what do we... Okay, we're on the old pedestal. May 7th. Once these lusciously green lands of ours lay barren, the grass wilted, our crops withered. This was a tundra shrouded in frigid cold. Many days into a bleak winter, a Pokemon appeared on the tundra, adorned with a regal crown, yet wounded and weak. Full of pity, our people brought the Pokemon to our village and saw to its care. Okay. I mean, this place is still kind of bleak. I mean, I don't know what happened to y'all, but yeah, I was told it's not really worth your money to repair this bike. Just buy a brand new one. And my response was, well, I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your forthright nature in telling me this and telling me I should just buy a new bike. However, this was my dad's bike, and I would like it repaired because it was my dad's bike. And it may be an old bike. It may not be quite as good as a new one, and it's going to be expensive. But I would rather have his bike in working condition than buy a new one because it was his bike. And the guy I was talking to completely understood that this was a case of being sentimental, and he repaired the bike. And I think that's kind of similar to me with Pokemon teams. I like that original team. There may be stronger pokes that I could pull in. I might be able to pull in a legendary, or I might be able to add a dragon Pokemon down the line or something like that. But as much as I would love to actually do that, my old team's been with me for a while. I've had them forever. If you ever, I've talked about this in the past, but especially when talking about Pikachu, specifically Pikachu. Pikachu, I adore Pikachu. I've adored Pikachu forever. Admittedly, part of my adoration of Pikachu as a Pokemon is because of Ash and Pikachu. But, I have always absolutely adored rodents. I love mice. I love rats, gerbils. They are some of my favorite type of real-life animals. And Pikachu just kind of pings that part of my brain that adores those creatures. So it's also that. I also, for some reason, I really like the electric type. The electric type's always awesome for me, especially considering things like Paralyze and those types of effects. I love Fast. I'm always in a lot of games, I'm very much the speedy attacker. I am the I very much play a lot of thief type characters, multi-strike characters, archers, and all of these are characters that do agility, and they do they're all about agility, they're all about dexterity, and Pikachu has that kind of feel to me. Electric types in general, but Pikachu specifically. So Pikachu I've always loved. So a lot of the time, like, if you have a Pikachu that's available to me, generally I will actually run Pikachu as the poke in my party, and it will probably be my lead. And then odds are, and this I can tell you is entirely because of the show, but I won't evolve the Pikachu either. I will just have a Pikachu. It might be level 100, but I will have a Pikachu, and it will be in my team. I have to make an effort to not do that anymore, to kind of showcase more of what's available, really. Why are you not getting caught? Oh. That's irritating. So there's definitely sentimentality to it, and that really kind of sucks when it comes to Dragon Pokemon because of how late they show up. I saw right behind this Omastar is another Dragon type that we're gonna be catching in just a minute here. So again, late breaking poke doesn't show up until significantly later in the game than other pokes. So it ends up being this. There's a quick cap. Thank you so much. Makes that faster. So I never really get to use them, just because my team is set by them. You know, usually I'll make some adjustments. I'll adjust my team. Got Omastar, the Spiral Pokemon. Weighed down by a large and heavy shell, Omastar couldn't move very fast. Some say it went extinct because it was unable to catch food. There you go. Go ahead and pop back into here. Omastar actually go. There it is. Don't need that. Omanite. Go away. Let's see. Age Slash. Restore. You know, one of the things that I, very frequently do when I play the Pokemon games, I will adjust my party slightly to account for typing advantage and things like that. Make sure I have at least some level of spread. That's about all I do. It's really just catches that and the other. Now, you guys did see a fair difference on this. Oh, no, we already have a Dino. Okay, fine. You guys saw a decent difference in this when it came to the Pokemon Sword and Shield, the Pokemon Sword playthrough. And the main reason for that is that as of late, as of the recent games, you don't really need a full party of 6 to get anything done. You know, you can just hey, Lucario. I'm like 100% sure we have Lucario. Let's just double check. But I can tell you that if you have some understanding of the Pokemon games, and more especially if you not only understand the Pokemon games, you understand the items, but also if you're gonna do like I've been doing, which is kind of catch everything and get the bunches of experience you get from catching everything, like there is no need for a full party of 6 at any point. It's just unnecessary. And so what I end up doing is I end up doing, a party of 3 and then 3 evolution Pokemon, which is what you guys saw throughout the course of this playthrough, was that, I would... that's an exit, and I'm not really interested in going there yet, because there's still stuff in here. I really want to go get that TM over there. Not 100% sure how you get to it. No joke, this cave feels somewhat non-Euclidean to me. Go over here for a second. Oh, there's just... okay. This is rare candy. Okay. Okay. Well, there must be another entrance to the cave, because I feel like I've gone everywhere. Oh. Wasn't this way. I adore seeing the dragon Pokemon, though, even if I won't use them. This one is very weird. It's not the 3 heads, it's the wings. Okay, we found our way to the Frigid Sea. I'm pretty sure I have you already, right? I'm reasonably sure that I picked up an Avalugg through the main storyline. Yeah. Got it. I guess let's go in this direction. At this point, we are in unknown, uncharted territory. I have no idea what I'm looking for or kind of where we're going. We are just in exploration mode. Now, I do recall from when I did look up some information about the evolutions of Slowpoke, is that this was the name of one of the oh, is this her? Over and under, over and around, over and under. Galerica twigs go all around until we've crafted nature's crown. A wreath of twigs is what we've wound. If you give me 15 Galerica twigs, I'll reuse a Galerica wreath for you. Okay, here we go. Over, under, around we go. Over, under in the snow. Here you are, a brand new wreath for you. I've got a Galerica wreath. Okay, so now we need a slowpoke. Which I'm sure I have a slowpoke somewhere in here that I caught for the express. Yep, the express reason for exactly what we're doing right now. Other items? Galerica wreath. Okay, slowpoke's just gonna hang out with us. I recalled seeing that, like, this set of caves was supposed to have that woman right there, specifically to upgrade, to do the other evolution of slowpoke. So I'm glad that we found her. That's one of the reasons why I was spending so much time in those caves looking around, is I was actually looking for her. Okay. So I'm gonna double check on Sfeel just to make sure. Kind of see exactly what we're seeing here. We do not have a Sfeel. That is actually super surprising to me. I'm glad that I stopped. We're actually going to have stuff that we're going to need to evolve here. Okay, that was a crit. Okay. Let's go ahead and swap out back to Aegislash over here. Ice Pokemon were another one that I never really got into, but I think the reason I didn't get into Ice Pokemon had less to do with the fact that they're rarer. And more due to the fact that their typing is just not good. Like, everything beats Ice Pokemon. Kind of unfortunate, actually. Like, they're very bad against many types. They're weak in terms of being attacked by other types. Like, there's just this kind of sequence of just like, God, why are you so not good? So I never really ended up using them, which is a shame, because, like, one of the first, the first Elite Four member you ever face in Pokemon, Lorelei. Lorelei's all about ice. So you end up, I ended up wanting to take after Lorelei for a while in my old playthroughs when I was a kid. But all of the ice Pokemon sucked. Leon levels up. Emolga levels up. Hot. Okay, so we got Sfeel, the Clap Pokemon, if you say so. This Pokemon's body is covered in blubber and impressively round. It's faster for Sfeel to roll around than walk. We'll go ahead and we'll be doing evolutions of Sfeel down the line. When it comes to, like, the filling out my living decks, is there not a Pokemon right there? I'll go ahead and, oh, really? Interesting. Okay. Cool. I'll do that on my own time. I could just go catch that, but I got more exploration I want to do before we finish up. There's a Golurk. Here's 3-point pass. I'm assuming these are the 3 points. But I'm not really seeing anything particularly interesting. Is this where I get that item I was missing? So here's more stuff. Like, there's just stuff everywhere, but this is what we're looking for. Yep. There's TR10, Earthquake. Nice. There's just so many types that they're the more... I guess the game considers them to be more advanced. So, Dragon, Ice, to some extent, Poison, Dark. The game's changed... They've changed the... I guess, the policy on Dark over time. Ooh, hello. Hold up. Got another one of these things. Which one is this? I'm thinking Reggie Steele here. Number on the door. A giant of rock, a giant of ice, a giant of steel. When gather these 3 giants, the door of destiny will be open. Okay, this is actually, this is the final Reggie. Whose name I missed. I don't have it off the top of my head. So we need all of the Reggies in our party in order to open that door. You know, doable. We have to find the other ones, and I say find as if that's gonna be hard or something like that. It won't be. You know, we have an idea of where they are. It's just a matter of actually going and getting them. You know, finding them and things. I'm kind of liking all of the. Oh, is this the edge of the? It's the edge of the map. Okay, can't go out further than this. I like all of these like icebergs in the water. It's a very, very cool touch. I kind of want to see what's in that rare den over there before we call it for the day. Ooh, hello. Do I have you? Is this Tortuga? Tortuga, that's right. No, we don't. Neat. We're finding a lot of these fossil Pokemon, which are somewhat, I'm not going to say rare necessarily, but, oh, that's a problem. Okay. I think we're just going to go ahead and straight switch to Aegislash. I would like to do Volt Switch, but I have a feeling that we would just kill Tortuga. And then if you know, it's not immune to ice, which is kind of a problem. So I can't really false swipe it in the way I would normally, because it will just die. Yeah, we've made some very solid progress over the past couple of episodes. This episode, the last one especially. You know, I think, especially when we really kind of get to a point where we have kind of captured most of the Pokemon in the game, it starts to be a point where we see significantly less progress over the course of successive episodes. Oh, hey, that's actually very useful. He's changing it to rain. Because it's raining, it's not hailing, which means I can false swipe safely. But I definitely feel a little bit bad when we get towards the end of a Pokemon series. Because we see significantly less progress, we're not catching as much in a row, we're not doing as much in a row. So it's very good that we're actually, you know, catching so many of these pokes. Okay, last Pokemon of the day, Tortuga, the Proto-Turtle Pokemon. This Pokemon inhabited ancient seas. Although it can only crawl, it still comes up onto land in search of prey. We'll be leveling that up later. Assuming that I don't actually just see its evolution somewhere. Okay, folks. Well, you know what? I did say I want to check this den. Let's go kind of slide our way on over here. There's another Tortuga. What is this? What is that? I don't actually know what that is. I'm curious. Let's go look. I don't know if it's a rare Pokemon, but it's the rarer action. Oh, it's just a Darmanitan. Okay, well, this is a waste of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop here and not waste your guys' time. I will go ahead and do it and get some, you know, rare candies and such. That is gonna be it for me, guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be continuing next time. So with that, I'll catch y'all later.